What up, YouTube? Teammates here. Here is my Throwback segment where I talk about the films that turns 10 and 20 this week. Alright, the films turning 10, we got Limitless. Of course, they did do a TV show on CBS as well, but this was directed by Neil Berger, who of course directed that Kevin Hart movie, The Upside. He has that new Colin Farrell movie coming out next month called Voyagers. That looks interesting. But Limitless, starred the likes of Bradley Cooper, Abby Cornish, Robert De Niro, and it's where, like, with the help of this mysterious pill that ends up enabling the users to access 100% of brain abilities. Bradley Cooper, who plays the struggling writer, becomes the financial wizard, and I I mean, Limitless was pretty good. It's definitely a really fun. It was such a fun thrill ride. Bradley Cooper was great. Bobby De Niro was great. If you guys have not really seen Limitless, you can actually find it on Hulu. It's really solid. All right. Also turning 10, we got the sci-fi comedy Paw. Now, Paw stars Simon Pegg and Nick Frost, who plays like these two comic book nerds who ends up discovering, that they end up meeting this foul mouth alien named simply named Paul, portrayed by Seth Rogen, and they decide to pretty much take a road trip with Paul to back to his ship and stuff like that, so he doesn't get captured. It's pretty much like an R-rated ET in a weird way. I mean, it even has a cameo by Steven Spielberg and more people. Sigourney Weaver even appeared in this. You also had Kristen Wiig, Bill Hader, Jason Bateman. I mean, if you ever want to see a movie where Seth Rogen is a foul-mouthed talking alien, this is one for you. It's hilarious. It's fun. Go watch Paul if you guys have ever seen that. Alright, also turning 10, we got the Lincoln Lawyer, which is actually based on a book by Michael Connelly. It stars Matthew McConaughey as Mick Haller, who is this defense lawyer who works out of his Lincoln, because Matthew McConaughey has a habit of Matthew McConaughey just loves his Lincoln cars. So when this a realtor ends up being accused of selling this prostitute, Haller is actually defend him, and this movie has lots of twists and turns throughout. It's really decent. It's directed by Brad Furman, who did a really good job at directing. You had William H. Macy was in this, Michael Pena, Trace Atkins was even in this one. Lincoln Lawyer is definitely a really cool, law-based film. I mean, Matthew McConaughey is no stranger to law films. I mean, of course he's done stuff like A Time to Kill. He's done Bernie, so he's no stranger for the courtroom-based drama, and this is definitely a really solid one. I can say that Lincoln Lawyer was really the movie that actually revived Matthew McConaughey's career, because before this, he of course did mostly rom-coms and all. But this is actually the movie that really put Matthew McConaughey back on track as a Matthew McConaughey son. And then since then, he's done stuff like Magic Mike, Dallas Buyers Club. He's had a really interesting resurgence in the late 2010s. So if you guys have not really seen the Lincoln Lawyer, they are doing a Netflix series of it as well. So there's that. But Lincoln Lawyer with Matthew McConaughey is terrific. Definitely go watch that one. Alright, last but not least, turning 10, we got Win Win, which is directed by Tom McCarthy, who of course directed the Oscar-winning movie Spotlight. Now, this is a film that stars Paul Giamatti, who plays this attorney named Mike Flaherty, who moonlights as a high school wrestling coach, and he stumbles across this star athlete to some questionable business dealing while trying to support his family. It's a bit like it's of course a wrestling-based comedy. Paul Giamatti was great. Tom McCarthy did a good job at directing this film. So if you guys have not really seen Win Win, give it a shot. I think you'll enjoy it. Alright, also films turning 20, we got the Christopher Nolan classic, Memento. Now, Memento is about this man with short-term memory loss attempts to track down his wife's murder. Now, this is actually the movie that really put Christopher Nolan on the map. Like his first movie was of course Falling, and that was like in 1998. But I guess you say Memento was really the movie that really put that really put Nolan on the map. And since then, of course, Nolan's directed movies such as the Dark Knight trilogies, his other like great notable films such as Insomnia, most recent Tenet he put out. I mean, Christopher Nolan is the man, and I know he did a great job with Memento. Carrie-Anne Moss was in this. If you guys have not really seen Memento, this is definitely one of Christopher Nolan's best work. Like lots of people will even say that this is definitely his best like non-Dark Knight film he's done, and it's a really iconic one. I believe this was also the movie that put Guy Pearce on the map too, if I'm not mistaken. All right, also turning 20, we got Exit Wounds, which of course is this film that is directed by the same guy who gave us Romeo Must Die, Cradle to the Grave. And this film stars Steven Seagal, DMX, Isaiah Washington, Anthony Anderson, Tom Arnold. And in it, you got Steven Seagal, who plays this Detroit cop named Aaron Boyd, who doesn't really follow the rules and all, but after he saves the vice president by violating every order he receives, he is transferred to one of the worst prisons in the state, and so there he ends up encountering some corrupt cops who are selling heroin to drug dealers and all. I mean, Exit Wound is probably one of my favorite Steven Seagal movies. Seagal is actually pretty good in that. I never really consider him as a great actor, but as an action star, he's actually pretty good when it comes to action. DMX was great. Isaiah Washington was pretty good. It has lots of funny one-liners. I mean, the director I really do quite like. You know, although his recent, like, he also gave us like Legend Chun-Chi and Doom, but his earlier stuff, such as Romeo Must Die, Exit Wounds, and Cradle to the Grave, were awesome. So if you guys have not really seen them, I mean, he's of course worked with DMX plenty of times too. So, alright, last but not least, turning 20, we got Enemy of the Gates, about this Russian and German sniper who plays a game of cat and mouse during the Battle of Stalingrad. Enemy of the Gates is pretty fun. It's a really decent it's a bit of decent suspense film that takes place during like during World War II and all. You had Jude Law and Ed Harris was in this. Ron Perlman, Bob Hoskins, Rachel Weisz, Joseph Fiennes. Really decent film. Interesting cinematography. Give that one a go if you guys haven't seen it. Alright, that's pretty much it. Let me leave you guys. Which of these films stand out to you the most? The 10-year one, I'm probably actually going to say Paw. Paw is a pretty awesome one. But the 20-year one, I'm probably going to actually say Memento. Anyway, drop comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for more notifications. This is St. Moose signing off.